Hey everybody, welcome back. Today, we're reading a story about a wifezilla that got caught cheating and got what she deserved. My wife went out last night and didn't come home until this morning. Yeah, doesn't look good for you, buddy. This is horrible. I'm furious right now, but I'm also depressed as hell. I don't know what I have to do. It's just killing me that I have to do it. It's fresh. And it hurts a lot. My wife didn't come home last night. She went out with a couple of girlfriends, which is pretty normal for her. She's normally back at around 2 a.m. on these nights, so I waited up. Around 2:30, I called to check in. She answered, and I could hear people in the background. Oh, she at the AP or what? AP's after party. You guys want an after party? She told me she went to a party, but we're leaving in a couple of minutes. She wasn't home by 3, so I texted. It delivered, but no reply. Around 4 a.m., I called again. It ran a couple of times before she sent me to voicemail. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's concerning. AP's getting a little lit? Or is it not an AP and you're with a man? My wife finally came stumbling through the door at 6:47 a.m. this morning. Ooh. Ooh. And you were probably up all night waiting for her. I know the exact time because I was worried. She was wearing a dress she didn't leave the house in.
Oh.
With mesh leggings I've never seen either. Oh, weird. Okay, so she put on a dress, like a going out dress, after she left the house. Mesh leggings, yeah, that's a pickup outfit if I've ever heard it. The leggings had clearly been torn and her makeup was smudged. Oh dear. Okay, torn leggings, concerning. Okay, hopefully everything is okay. I do have concerns about her, but also okay. I would approach this situation with trust, but also concern before you accuse her of anything. But yeah, this doesn't look good. My heart sank when I saw her. My immediate worry was that she only shook her head no when I asked her that. Okay, now you have a right to be mad. I asked her what she had been doing then. She only said I knew what she had been doing, and that kind of confirmed what the voice in the back of my head had been screaming since she walked in. My wife cheated on me that night. I asked her who it was. She shrugged, almost casually, and said it was somebody they met at the club. I like how she just comes home expecting to just have a chat about it. She doesn't sound sorry at all. She went back to his house and hooked up, then Ubered home. No, you can stay there, bestie. That's your husband now. He can have you. She then said she didn't want to fight and just wanted to sleep, so that's what she did. Interesting that she can sleep soundly after that. No guilt whatsoever. That's concerning. She's still asleep now and didn't even take a shower before passing out. Suffice to say, our relationship is over. We don't have any kids and we rent, so it shouldn't be a complicated process. I keep trying to reason myself out of it, pretending there might be something to salvage here. No, buddy, she admitted to it and wasn't sorry. You got yourself a wifezilla on your hands, I gotta say. I've always maintained that cheating would be a red line for me though. I think I need to stick to that now. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. Honestly, I'd like to say that it would be one thing if she showed no remorse, but she fully did this knowing that this would end her relationship. She did it on purpose. She wanted an out, and you should give it to her. We have an update, but we're gonna read some of the reactions. You keep trying to reason yourself out of it because this just happened and you're still in shock. That feeling of betrayal is still going to be there when the shock fades, so don't let yourself humor her now. Also, just to be 100% safe, I'd recommend an STD screening. That's a good point. Who's to say this was the first time? You know what I'm saying? This might not be the first time she's done something of this nature. I mean, she doesn't really seem to be too apologetic about it. She doesn't seem to be guilty about it. So maybe she's just, the guilt has just pretty much worn off. OP responds, I really don't think she's done this multiple times. I wouldn't be so sure about that. If she had, she'd likely have come home and told me right away anyways. She's always been the type of person who can't keep things bottled inside. I will get tested though, it can't hurt. Though I am a little scared of needles. Yeah, you're gonna need to get tested regardless. You didn't think she'd do it the first time either. It doesn't hurt to be safe than sorry. If she's done it once, you would proceed in the assumption she's done it before, especially given her attitude. Seriously, the lack of guilt and just the
Yeah, I'm gonna go to bed now.
Go away. That's literally what she said to you. She just came home, ruined your marriage, and said, okay, I'm going to bed now, bye. Crazy, dude. Her changing into a different dress reminds me of those those movies about girls in private schools or high schools that are conservative, or they have conservative parents and they changed to go to school so that they look hot for the boys. That's what that reminds me of. I stuffed my bra before I went to school, but not so that my parents could see it, because they would know. They would know there's toilet paper in there, right? All right, on to the update. Me again, folks. I'm sorry I didn't get around to this sooner. It's okay. I'll allow it. I wasn't able to get the day off work yesterday because my boss kind of sucks. I was a complete mess at work yesterday though, so I was allowed to take the rest of the week as a vacation, thankfully. I love how he needed to just see how distraught you were. It's like, oh yeah, we can't have that here. You need to leave. Okay. I think I went through all of the stages of grief while my soon-to-be ex was sleeping. I wasn't expecting my post to get any attention at all. I just figured I needed to try to talk to someone about it because I was not in a good headspace. I made the post in the morning and by noon she was still conked out in the bedroom. Sweet dreams, bestie. Getting one more good sleep in before you gotta go through a messy divorce. I had processed things a bit more and I had a rough plan in my head that I was starting to set in motion. Look at it this way. Her taking a nice little nap after ruining your marriage gave you time to move in the shadows. I made a short list of questions I wanted answers to, gathered all my important documents, laptop, etc. Then I went into the bedroom and started packing myself a suitcase. I know a lot of folks wanted me to kick her out. I did consider it, but honestly, I'm not overly attached to this place. Yeah, leave her with the rent. Leave her with the issue of paying the rent by herself. Love that for you. We just rent and I'm in a lucky enough situation to be able to say that paying half the rent for a few months isn't gonna financially end me. I mean, I feel like you're being a little bit nice and you might be legally obligated to do it because you're probably on the lease, but like, at least you don't share assets together. Gets a little messy when you share a house. It'll sting a little bit, I won't lie, but I'll make it. And I feel like being around this place is only gonna remind me of her anyway. I need to be looking forward, not back. She ended up waking up about halfway through me packing my suitcase. There was momentary confusion as she looked around the room and she started bawling. Did she like forget what she did? Was she like so unbelievably drunk that she was just a different person? Like, I don't understand the delay. Maybe she thought you wouldn't leave. I don't know. Maybe this is awful of me, but I didn't bother comforting her. Why would you? Those are crocodile tears, honey. Why do they call it crocodile tears instead of alligator tears? I had told her I had the screenshots of her Uber and text messages from her phone, and plus her confirmation was enough that things between us were completely done. She didn't answer me and just cried louder. Allow me to play the world's tiniest violin. I debated trying to continue the conversation, but I decided to just pack the rest of my suitcase and head back out to the living room until she came out. When she finally left the bedroom, she sat next to me on the couch and asked me if we could talk things through. I mean, you don't got much to talk about at this point. I told her as calmly as possible that that wasn't how things were going to work. I was gonna ask questions. I wanted honest answers. She told me she'd be honest, so I proceeded. My voice was shaking the entire time. It was taking me everything to hold it together, but I kept going. All right, we have the answers to the questions. We enter into evidence. Exhibit A. The answers to the questions. Was this the first time she cheated? She started crying before answering that. She told me no. This is why you always listen to Charlotte. Why are you doubting me? Why do you doubt my psychic abilities? Why? You know I'm always right. I'm not. It just feels good when I am. She cheated on me multiple times over the course of our relationship. It was, and I'm gonna use her words exactly, just giggity. A way for me to let off steam. None of it ever meant anything. Why? It's always the same story. It didn't mean anything, blah, blah, blah. Maybe it didn't mean anything to you. I wrote a comment shortly after making my post that all the love couldn't fade away in one swoop. Well, it can. It hit me right then and there that I wasn't dealing with my wife. The person I was married to literally wasn't in the room. This was someone different. She refused to tell me exactly how many times she cheated, just more than last night. Had she used protection? No hesitation from her before she nodded her head emphatically. She seemed surprised I'd even asked that. I still think you should get tested. I'm still gonna get tested just to be safe. I did some research into timing and I'm gonna look after it. Good. Gotta be safe. Gotta be safe. See, and this is the thing is like, even if you do have like a healthy relationship and you don't think your partner is cheating, you still need to get tested because that is oftentimes how you find out that people are cheating. It's kind of weird how like nurses are just like, yeah, you still need to get tested. Oh, you only have one partner? Yeah, that's not good enough. You need to get tested. Were her friends also cheating on their spouses? Yes and no. I tried to get her to tell me which of her friends was cheating so I could come into contact with their spouses. She probably should have because her refusal led me to messaging pretty much every one of the romantic partners of every one of her girlfriends I could find on social media. Ooh, heads rolling, love it. There are a couple I don't know or couldn't find, but I did my part. Good for you. If you're going down, everybody going down with you, you know what I'm saying? Why? Did she do it? This was the answer that gutted me the most. I'm gonna use her exact words again. I needed to have sexual variety. I told her it's not like our sex life is dull. She clarified it's not the same as something new. Okay, yes, this is something we need to be discussing before we get into marriage. Because yes, one penis forever. That's the deal. You better like it, because you only got one. Kind of just sounds like she might be a little bit of a giggity addict. Little bit of a giggity addict. If you can't commit to one person, you need to be honest with yourself and not be married. Or have a discussion with your spouse. Maybe they would be open to an open relationship. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. But like, if you can't commit to one person, don't be married. It's as simple as that. I didn't even have a response to that one. I had expected something about me working too much or not supporting her emotionally. Nope. She just f***ed other guys because she felt like it and wanted to have some fun. Wow, the lack of remorse. Yeah, it's a toughie. She a wifezilla for sure. When I didn't respond, she started asking me about counseling and therapy. It's a little late for that. I feel like everybody always uses that as like a...
Oh, I'll go to therapy.
No, bestie, you go to therapy. You need the therapy. I do not. I've been to therapy. I'm healed. You're the one that's up. I reiterated that our relationship was over. I'd be leaving. What she did next disgusted me. My ex actually tried to... be intimate with me. Ooh, that's kind of twisted. She put her hands on me and started to... Okay, can't read that. I feel like I wanted to vomit and pushed her away after a couple of seconds. She kept telling me she would figure out a way to fix it, that we would work through it together. I told her there was no way, and she started bawling again. She went into the bathroom and locked herself inside. I was just sick of everything at that point. I called her mother and told her what was going on. The full story too. The cheating, the questions I had asked, the fact that I was leaving. Ooh, I love it when they call the mom. You know, like, let's get the parents involved, why not? Do you know what your child did? This is who you raised. I've always had a good relationship with my ex's parents. They both decided to drive to town, which is about an hour for them. Once I knew someone was on the way, I grabbed my things and left. Her waterworks in the bathroom were just annoying me because it felt hollow to me. Yeah, because she's not crying because she feels bad. She's crying because she's like ashamed, especially given the answers to my questions. I ended up packing another bag before I left and took all the things that I could think of that felt sentimental with me. I found a parking lot and sat in my car until I was able to get in contact with a buddy for a place to crash. I tried to take a nap, but I was running on way too much adrenaline. I knew when her parents had made it to the apartment because she started calling me. When I didn't answer those, she started texting me. She had gone from sad and crying to furious. These are the consequences of your actions. Why are you confused? Coming soon to Broadway. Apparently, I'm a freaking piece of poop for telling her mom everything. Whoops. Oh yeah? Yeah. Interesting choice of words. Interesting. What did you think was gonna happen? You just beat her to it. How were you gonna explain to your mom? Were you gonna tell her a lie? Probably. I received roughly 100 texts since her leaving. They ranged from name calling all the way to begging me to come back. Ooh, that's fun. Love watching the spiral. To sending me pictures of the food she ate for some reason. I haven't responded to any of them. I feel like I said my piece before leaving. So that's where I'm at now. We didn't have joint finances, so that part was easy. I canceled all the subscriptions that go to my credit card just to be sure. Changed all my important passwords. I'm crashing on a friend's couch for a bit, but I've got some feelers out for some short-term rental places until I can find something more permanent. I've got feelers out for a divorce attorney too. Good for you for sticking to your guns. Honestly, the lack of remorse, you know what I mean? Like, that is the worst part for me. Yeah, there's no salvaging it. Why entertain even a conversation at this point? I also wanted to say that I was shocked how supportive everyone was. Thank you for that. Truly, from the bottom of my heart, it isn't easy for me to talk about emotional things with people close to me. This was an invaluable venting place for me. Thank you all so much. Divorce! Ah, divorce! Immediately! God, that's gonna be so easy, dude. Like, thank God. Thank God you don't have kids. Thank God you don't share finances. Like, the easy peasy, baby. Easy peasy. I can't believe she tried to, like... with you. Like, where's the logic in that? It's like she feels like that's all she has to offer or something. Or she can't like literally empathize with you at all. Like, do we not have a read on this situation at all? We don't know how people, like, how can you not feel guilty at all? My ex also tried to with me when he told me he cheated. He was literally biting my neck whilst I cried on the bed. These people aren't normal. I genuinely think he's sociopathic, and yours is too. I mean, I don't like to diagnose people, but I just like, it explains a lot, right? The lack of empathy, the lack of remorse, the empty crying. Like, you can kind of feel when someone isn't honest when they're crying. It's like crocodile tears. They're like, yeah. Right? It doesn't seem genuine. And that's because I feel like they're just crying to save their reputation and not because they feel bad, you know? They're more upset about the fact that they now have to get divorced and it's like, you know, bad for their reputation than being genuinely upset about hurting someone. Even her responses were like, are you like not a human being? Like, do you not have feelings? Safe to say the consent went out the window when you told him you cheated. Glad you had the strength to get out there and not put yourself more of your ex's BS. I find it funny that she started crying now. Seems like a complete flip from how heartless and cold she was to you when she first came home. That's why I feel like she's like acting or something. She's like, I don't know. Like maybe she was like under the influence of something and maybe she was drunk or like something else. Like, I don't know. I don't understand the complete flip between
Sorry, I need a nap.
To
Oh, don't leave me.
like, keep that same energy, bestie, okay? It's not gonna seem genuine. You're not sorry. The crying was the same reason a child cries when it gets caught with its hand in the cookie jar. The way she responded and acting and her reasoning behind all of it tells me she didn't care. She just cared about getting caught, and this will change her way of living. Yes, and it will be a tarnish to her reputation, obviously. She's not gonna be able to get away with it anymore. Her parents are gonna be mad at her. That's why she got so angry when her mom found out, because she can't hide from it anymore, you know? And I will leave you with one last response from OP. I honestly don't know if she was crying because I was leaving or just because she was caught and the little universe she built for herself was crumbling. I'd like to think she cared I was leaving on some level, but her response to the whole thing does make me question. I'm looking into therapy, but as weird as it sounds, I want the anger to fuel me a little longer. You move in the shadows as much as you want, bestie. Sorry that this happened to you, but like, it's so much easier that you guys don't have like things tying you together, like finances, like kids, like a house. Dude, just zip her up and move on, you know? Zip her up, zip, key, zipper, I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Just zip, finito. I would genuinely like to know your response to this. Do you think that someone like this would need to be a sociopath? Like, I don't want to diagnose people. Obviously, I'm not a doctor, but I'm curious to know what you guys think because this behavior sounds kind of familiar and I genuinely want to know your thoughts. And by the way, I just want to say thank you again for all of the congratulations on my engagement. I see all the comments and I appreciate all the kind words and I love you guys a lot. I get all the info on how not to be a wife from these videos, so subscribe!